As famed dungeon master Jean Valjean once said, after the party spontaneously teleported to visit an old ally, "Who am I? Have I forgotten the name of this NPC? Pretend I have their stats in front of me. And will the voice I used last time be something like what's in my mind? Who am I? Hey! Welcome to officially episode 50 of Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. You might notice something's a little different. Episode 50, something's a little different around here. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? It's Luke from Dakota Irish, helping us celebrate. Hey, Luke, how you doing?
Hey, everybody. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Be more than welcome. You are more than welcome to be here. Hope you enjoy it. Hopefully, you still partner with the show after this episode.
I make no promises, Ben. You better be like. It's your performance is completely unhinged here.
So, guys, this is our performance review. It's like having an inspector in the classroom. Please be given shots.
I'm taking notes right here. It actually says it. Notes for Homebrew right there.
Dakota was only mentioned 3 times throughout the show. It needs to be a minimum of 5. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for playing. And thank you equally. Might as well, we don't usually do it in this order, but thank you for everyone who's watching for the 10% discount code you give them on the site. Hooks Punks. I'll get into the actual details of that, but let's get into the drink, I think. That sounds good.
That's catchy.
If you don't know the show, if this is your first time watching, we do recommend it's there's not that much plot to catch up on. It's kind of canonical. You'll be fine jumping in here. But we use the beers we have at the table to inspire the world around us. And specifically we use like the names and stuff written on the bottles. So I have this week, and what I'm starting with is a Sullivan's. So you might come across a Sully or Mike Wazowski. That's the kind of thing. That's the sort of loose improv we do here. We do some word associations. It's a black marble stout. Haven't had a sup yet, but I am looking forward to it. And going around the overlay, Luke, as our guest, what did you bring along?
Well, I have made myself a very tasty whiskey sour using traditional Irish Jameson whiskey, and maybe there'll be a whiskey involved somewhere.
Ooh, nice.
Does your whiskey sour have an egg in it or not? No egg.
No egg. Good
no
sir.
Egg. Interesting.
No egg. No. The egg is unnecessary to the drink.
It is.
No one needs to drink an egg.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary in all drinks. Like someone's like, "Do you want an egg for your drink there?"
Sure.
No.
Says
Just
the
a little
vegan.
protein on the side.
Yeah, eggs are unnecessary. Full stop for me.
Yeah.
Paul, speaking of eggs, what are you drinking?
I don't understand the segue, but all right. We just
Get talking, egg.
yeah. If you mean egghead, maybe we could. No. So I'm drinking today. So I'm drinking what's it? Kraken and Coke. But I also have, of course, my potion.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Which have been changed recently because I tried to drink out of them and they were awful. And I also have Shocho, which I found in the back of my alcohol cupboard, which I thought I'd give a pour on. Because we were talking about it inside the Discord. It is a clear liquid, and it's like a wine kind of vodka.
Yeah,
But
I fully thought you were posting a photo of soy sauce when you posted it. And I didn't expect it to be a clear spirit. Don't drink that, man.
It's like the main Korean like sake type drink is called soju, and I think it's the same. I think this is the Japanese.
Oh, I've had soju actually. Soju's nice.
Yeah, I think sochu is like the Japanese equivalent,
Oh.
that is dangerous because it tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, I hate to tell you, I've actually been sneaking over to your drinks cabinet, topping it up with water. It is delicious. What you're drinking is pure H2O.
Oh, okay, cool. So, and
Speaking of sneaks, yes, what are you drinking?
These segues are getting more and more hurtful. I am back drinking my classic Hallow's and Fenton ginger beer because I am also getting over a cold, and I figured this was the beer that was the most likely to feel like like a Lemsip or something. I don't know. It doesn't feel like beer, so it feels like I'm kind of drinking medicine. But it's also delicious.
You should have had a hot whiskey.
I
Yeah.
don't have any whiskey in the house. I didn't even think of that. Also, that's hard to drink over 3 hours and not ruin the show.
You'd be like, how many hot whiskeys are you in, Wes, now?
It'd be. We need to keep. I mean, I need to stay warm. I need to get. It's for medicine. If I drink one every half hour, it'll be fine.
Wes would rip off his green shirt to reveal a greener shirt and be like, 32 equals 1, damn it. You're like, Wes, please.
At the same time, he institutes the green background, so he just disappears. It's just this disembodied.
Just a floating head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucy, what do you have on stream?
What do I have? Well, the first thing that I have is because to celebrate its 50th episode and to bring some class, I have a single flute of Prosecco. To 50 episodes, gentlemen.
Shoot-a-loo!
More.
To 50.
Yeah. And then I also have, Ben, you're going to be so happy. I got an independent Irish lager.
It only took 50 episodes. Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Larkin,
Oh yeah. That's a
curious.
nice can as well. That's pretty.
I think that app happens to be gluten free as well, is it?
This is straight out of D&D. Look at all these cute little.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to see these because it was like 8 for 14 quid or something, and I hope that that's a regular of those packs. So yeah, I'm excited to try it. But yeah, see Ben.
Would you be disappointed with a can that looks that amazing if it tasted like crap, and then you were like, "Oh God, it's crap," and I love looking at it.
So disappointed. You just want to buy them and keep them on a shelf or something.
Yeah.
I know. Come on, it's lager. It can't be too bad. It's like
Pilsner, so
It's a pilsner.
yeah. I'm hoping that you know. Yeah. Anyway, but I've got lots of like random items here. But anyway, I shall take a sip of this to continue.
Nice. I actually went looking for champagne earlier. It's expensive. And I was like, maybe some Prosecco, and that was difficult, you know. And I was like, oh, I'll get the champagne of beers. I'll see if they have any Miller High Life, and no Miller High Life. So Sullivan's. That's what I got.
the champagne of beers, Miller. Like every American male in the Midwest is just like, ugh.
So classy.
Yeah, I know.
That's from the Miller region of the US. You can't call it the champagne of beers.
I know, you're like,
Speaking of champagne of beers, Keelan.
Hey,
He gets the good one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever the last word was.
Yeah. I have an array of crazy sours with nice covers. I'm drinking a 2-pant beer. It's a blueberry chocolate coffee vanilla sour by the Collective Arts. It has a beautiful can of a guy's face.
Wow.
And
That is freaky.
I mean, you say beautiful. That's sleep
That's
paralysis to me.
I
Like,
think
that's
that's
terrifying.
that's how Huck views himself.
Just an endless vacuum in his own head.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. Now, the way that you said it, Wes, it does make sense.
Yeah, okay, I've convinced myself.
The gigantic intergalactic cosmic hole in his face is a little bit different.
I have
Nice.
another Collective Arts beer, which is a berry banana acacia granola smoothie sour. Similar, nice can, got a
These
dog.
all sound very heavy on the tummy.
That is a Fortnite can.
They're
Yeah.
5.6. It's not bad. The granola is a lot. I have the hippogriff because I didn't get to use it before. And it's such
yeah.
a sick name to be able to use. And the last one's a boysenberries, which is just a colourful, nice can. And let's see, what's that actually? It is blueberry
I
boysen.
think when if you poison an enemy, they have disadvantage on everything as well, so that'll be useful.
Yeah, and Bability Bibex.
Yeah, I was because it uses boysenberries, blackberry and lactose, but it's called boys and berries.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. So I thought if we come across a gang of people, we call them the Boys and Berries gang.
There for a
And
second,
intimidating.
the picture like pixelated, and I thought it said boys and carries.
Special carry edition.
Yeah, it's like,
That's so good. If you're drinking anything in the sidebar, if you're chatting along live, let us know what you're drinking. If you're drinking anything under the table, if you're leaving comments, let us know what you're drinking there. I alluded to this at the beginning. If you like amazing handcrafted dice trays, if you like incredible dice, if you like ways to level up your gaming experience, head on over to dakotairish.com. You might even see a familiar face there. And you'll find things like this, which is a spell book to hold. I had to empty my dice out of it. To hold all your dice, it comes with different inserts. There's one where it's 3 long boys for your dice, or there's card holders. Incredibly flexible spine. It is amazing. The reason we're all showing it off is because Luke was very kind for our 50th episode to send us all a spell book to roll our dice into. So thank you so much, Luke.
You're welcome.
If you want one of these, head over to dakotairish.com and use the promo code HOOKS, and you'll get 10% off that order if it's your first
She's
order.
got spell cards. I made the right call.
Yes.
It blows my mind how these things don't have like metal hinges. Like that's just a single piece of wood.
Yeah.
It's witchcraft.
Here, this spring wood thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, literally the first thing I noticed, I was just looking at the spine, just going, "This is incredible!" Like,
Didn't know wood could do that.
Well, it's so when I had so much fun picking them out for you guys. I was gonna say this earlier. I was trying to figure out. I was like, all right, Ben, I know is gonna be, the adventure begins, right? I was like, that's him, DM, and he's got to have the straps and stuff. And then I was like, Lucy's got to have, one for cards, right? Just so that she'd have spell cards. Puck's got to have them as well, right? And I'm like, and there was actually the hardest one was Wes, right? I was like, what the hell am I gonna get a barbarian?
I'm just gonna smash it.
He's just gonna smash it. You know what I mean?
It's too delicate.
He just needs a lot of dice.
A bunch of chaotic dice. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bunch of dice.
That design with the dark, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was swirling octopus or something. That was mad.
It's a kind of a octopusy, Cthulhu-y sort of into the depths unknown design. It's incredible. And the detail on it, you mightn't see it on our stream, but honestly, if you go to the website and zoom in, it's like get yourself a hot towel to put, or a cold towel to put on your head afterwards. Oh boy.
I really like the potion ones because it's so cool with the feather and then the D20 on it. So I really that's kind of one of my little pet. Or
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It's so light and it's just the right size. I know. I'm so excited. It's just great.
Yay! What's cool as well is you can fit minis into them. So once the the live sessions begin again, you can actually bring your minis and your dice, and it'll fit a little bit larger than normal size dice. So you have your dragon scale dice. Nice. You can fit them in there, and they'll be safe and stuff. So.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Now to kill you in the game. But that's kind of it for announcements for episode 50. Let's dive straight into to homebrew. Is everyone cat first sup? Everyone's feeling a little bit loosey goosey. Yeah,
everyone loose.
Yeah.
Right now, without further ado, if you haven't already, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia and Arlington. Carry on, my wayward son. Take us through the road so far. That's one for the CW fans out there.
Okay, then. Cool. Yeah, we're actually going to do a slightly, more extensive recap than we normally do. Just kind of like the story so far, a whole campaign edition. So, I'm probably going to get some of this wrong, but we shall see. In the realm of Hibernia, the shipping industry is in decline, bankrupted in favor of an enormous roadway spanning across the entire countryside. And as we discovered through the campaign, the roadway is in fact a giant runic ritual carving set up to teleport the Feywild directly into the material plane, which is bad. Why? Because a powerful archfey and all-round villain wants to merge them. Her name is Rua. She's very tough, very scary. She's also Iggy's mum, so there's a conflict of interest there. We're kind of figuring out how that's going to work when we eventually have to kill her. Or not, it's fine. To stop her, we need to assemble ancient artifacts bestowed to the mortals by gods. We need, we have Cleave Sullus, which is a sword currently held by Lanfalon, our Aasimar. He's Aasimar, right?
Mm-hmm. He's Aasimar.
Our Aasimar friend with antlers on his head. I'm excited to see him again. Dagda's Cauldron is currently held by Rua, which is no good either. The Stone of Destiny, where the ritual is apparently going to take place. Arlington has some affiliation to that there, so we'll find out what happens then. And then Lou's Spear, which is yet to be found. I think, as far as we know, it currently looks like a fishing rod, but we're not sure because it can shapeshift. It was last seen on the east coast of Costa, which you can see on our map, which we have pinned to social somewhere, I think, somewhere. We also know that Rua didn't want a High King in Hibernia, so she's obviously been kind of pulling the strings for a while. And basically when she merges the planes, people are probably going to die. Shit's probably going to blow up. It's generally not a good time. So far, the only people who are trying to stop them are our friends, the NPCs that I mentioned there, and our current party, which is the ancient High King of Hibernia trapped inside a bugbear, Rua's own daughter, a puka of both worlds, and a crusty dwarf who just wants to open a brewery. That's the forces of power. And more recently and specifically, we last left off in the Kingdom of Ossory, as the dust settles on a showdown between the local werewolves and a band of Fianna warriors who just kind of turned tail and left. And now we're kind of just picking up the pieces and seeing what we're going to do and how. That's end recap.
That is, I mean, it took us 50 episodes, and it seems like quite a simple story, but it's like world ending. It might end unless the party stop them. And we dive into the game at hand. Iggy, you're at home in your childhood bedroom. What does it look like?
It looks like, from my perspective, it looks like just a world of imagination, of doorways, of passages, of worlds, of all these things. To other people, it might look like a mad person is trying to solve a crime, and there's like just drawings stuck everywhere, string between them, etc. As I'm just her art everywhere, and a bit messy, I would say.
Nice. You hear out your kind of bedroom window in the distance a small barking, but more close, far more close. You hear footsteps scurry down the hallway, and you hear the front door of your house open. It closes.
I'd jump out of bed and go to say hello to Papa.
Yeah, you run out of your bedroom towards the front door. You open the front door, and your house sits on a hill above the town of An Ogla, which then overlooks the Widow's Ravine, this sort of endless cliffside that plummets thousands of feet below. You're right, literally at the edge of town is literally the edge of town. And you see your stepsister walking towards the town from the house. She has a strange sort of sway to her, as if she's not entirely in control of her own body. Your stepsister does not have a name in game yet. I was going to suggest the name of Eden. It's kind of sweet. But if there's any other name you'd like to give her, now is the time. If you want to call her Sour.
What Keelan, come on, what terrible name.
Presumably if she's Iggy's sister, she also has red hair. Could she just be Ginger Beer? Just keep it simple.
Iggy's stepsister. So looks nothing like Iggy. Yeah.
No, I have a bad one and a good one. I have granola.
Give us the bad one.
Well, granola, I think, is the good one. Most people think is the bad one. And acacia, or acai, actually. Now that I'm reading it, I don't know how to spell acacia. I've realized.
Oh,
yeah.
acai?
Acai or acai? I never know.
Acai?
I don't know. I like granola. Granola's a good name.
I think granola's the win, really. But she could be called hippogriff, but that'd be a waste of a hippogriff, to be fair.
Okay. Is granola definitely a beer, or is that just the food that you're eating currently?
I'll tell you when I open it. It could just be solid. Yeah, it could be this could be a breakfast rather than a breakfast beer.
You're having granola and an acai bowl. I think that is just breakfast.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, with berries. So, Iggy, your choice. It can be Kraken, Eden, granola, or acai.
Let's say Eden. That is a lovely name.
I do like Eden.
Okay. So close. They were deciding before the baby was born, and it was like, well, we're settled on granola, and that came out and didn't look like granola. So so Eden, that's your stepsister. So Eden is making her way towards the town.
And can I ask you, like, roughly how old am I? Am I?
Yeah, you are. You're about the same age you were when you left the town. I don't know when that was. So maybe for the audience's perspective, what age do you think you are, like, in campaign currently?
Oh, don't ask me that.
Oh, I hope she's like just a really, like, she looks really well for 55 or something.
Yeah.
We just assumed.
I was banished from the town when I was like late teenager around this time, so I think I was probably about like 18 or.
Yeah, so you're probably like early 20s, and you left probably around 18 or so. So you're 18 years old.
So I want to. I'm not gonna scream on stream, but I'm gonna scream Eden and run and like probably trip with how fast I'm running, to catch her and to grab onto her. And
Yeah.
shake. Can I shake her?
You can. Before you reach her, make a perception check as you hear that sort of distant barking was actually coming from the other side of the house. Just a roof, roof, roof.
Okay. That's a 2 plus something. That's an 11.
Nice. So you're running towards Eden, and it's like you're moving in a dream. It's like you're trying to sprint, but you're not quite heading the pace. And you look around, and the world begins to drain of color. And you look at your hands, and they look almost like a sketch, as if like, well, they were photorealistic a second ago. Now they're, or like even like guidelines to a sketch. They're your hands are sausages, sausages and eggs. And everything around you seems to become a line drawing. As you keep running towards Eden, you see Eden has gone from your stepsister into like what is a stick sister, making her way towards the cliff. And as you reach the cliff, this large eye begins to float up above it with a long, big, toothy grin, and then stalks with other eyes around it, rising up from the cliffside. You know what this is, because you've had this dream before. But there's never been a dog in your dream before.
Okay. How can I see the dog? Does it look the same, like sketchy, or in a literal sense?
You turn around, and that kind of oppressive sense of this moor demon looms over you, and you see a dog that looks, it's not sketchy, it's like almost cartoonish. It's a big mushy face, sort of a mix of black and brown and white, like a big dog. It seems like it's a pretty hefty big dog. And you go, you know this dog, because you suddenly realize you've passed this dog in the hallways of the Kingdom of Ossory, in the castle. And it's at that moment, almost like in a dream itself, where you sort of get a sense of time and reality, that you wake up. The last place you saw this dog was in the grand entranceway. What would you like to do?
Okay. Is this dog? It's like in this. It's not one. It doesn't look like the other people from Ossory.
No, it looks like a domesticated dog. Like it's not like a werewolf or anything. It looked like it's a real dog.
I think I would want to run and see that dog and ask them if they saw what I just saw or something, like. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You peg it outside of your room. You run into the grand hallway, and as you get there, you see Hux Punks surrounded by werewolves and Fiona in the middle of a clash and a skirmish, and you immediately jump into action and to stand by your ally sides. And as with most dreams, it's almost like when the battle's over and the dust settles, you kind of barely remember what happened in it. You're like, oh what was the, oh shit. But Luke, that evening, you're all sitting in the banquet hall of the Kingdom of Ossory. Arlington, you're talking to the king. He's talking to you about using this as a base of operations for you guys, provided you can find the heart of a stone golem. That's what he thinks they need to kind of embed in the fortification to really protect the place from further attacks. You guys are all kind of catching up in your day, whatever you're doing. And Luke, your character, you glance up and you see Ignatius O'Flack. You know Ignatius O'Flack. You were from the same town as Iggy. No, she was a little bit older than you, so you can't be certain, but it's kind of hard to forget your town's only like bright red-headed half-elf. And by your side, do you want to describe what you look like and what's by your side?
Absolutely. So as we make eye contact, Iggy, you see Pim, the halfling. We'll say he's well known in your village anyway. And if you want to know what he looks like a little like Sir Didymus from the Labyrinth, minus the dog face though, but with the long stash, you know, the big eyebrows, and he talks kind of like this, you know, like that. And right next to him, his faithful steed, Whiskey Bear.
I knew whiskey was going to be involved.
Well, laying down, face like this.
Look like? Is there any way to?
Big mushy face, black and white and brown, and he's just kind of dozing next to this, you know, relatively diminutive halfling as Pim gives him old pet, and he says, "Iggy, is that you?"
Pim, and I'm gonna run over and give Pim a huge hug.
Oh.
Yeah, you're kind of hip level, I suppose. Maybe even knee level.
I know, I was gonna be like waist level. Blur. So.
And that hug will only be overshadowed by then the huger hug given to Whiskey Bear.
Oh, 100%. I mean.
And I'm gonna say, oh, Pim, I saw Whiskey last night in my dream. I knew I remembered him.
Really? Well, I mean, he is. I mean, look, he's unforgettable, really, in this trio of me, myself, and the dog. That's so cool. What were you dreaming about?
Yeah, I was in Agla. I dreamed there every night, but I've never seen him before. Maybe it was because you were nearby or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe we can help you. What do you ask? What's going on in your life? Tell me a little bit about yourself. It's been years since I've seen you.
Well, when were you last in Agla? And you know, the situation there is what I've sort of been trying to fix, but I'll be honest, I've gotten a little bit waylaid.
Well, it's not great, but I've come here actually seeking help to try and you know, fix what's going on. But it's been a while. It's a long. I'm trying to convince them to help, and you know, it's a small town. They don't really want to help. But I mean, they all love whiskey anyway.
So you've followed the same path. It turns out our town, lots going on. You leave and there's terrible things happening all over Hibernia. It's quite distracting, really.
Yes, unfortunately, I just coming here, I had to go so fast through the terrain just to run away from all the different things that were after me. You know, I think they saw a small halfling and they thought I'd be an easy bite to eat, but wasn't quite so easy.
They haven't met you, clearly.
Yes, they didn't know the mighty Pim.
I should introduce you to my friends.
Do yes.
Gesture over to wherever these guys are partying.
I'll waddle over. You see Whiskey kind of, he's like about here on me. You know, he comes along like all dopey, like, yeah, I guess I'll come along. Hello, Iggy's friends.
Can I take out of my bag? I've got like of all my old drawings. Some of them will have been of things that say happened in the town. So it's like, look, I'd probably like, this is Pim. Here he is, and like pointing at like things that probably.
There I am.
Iggy, you know other halflings? You never mentioned any halflings before. I'm a halfling. Well, spiritually. Well, actually, the opposite of spiritually. Spiritually, I'm not a halfling. But physically, I'm very similar.
Well, you look fanciful.
Yeah, Pim, this is maybe the first time you've seen a puka, although you would have heard about puka from the Feywild. Hook looks like a little bit like you if you cosplayed as Bugs Bunny. So like big long rabbit ears sitting out from a... are you wearing your Bob of Apples hat?
Oh yeah, always. The Bob Apples, yeah.
Yeah, so Hook has on top of his head this hat that looks like the top of a red apple, and his ears poke up behind it and around it. Similar barefoot, but instead of kind of wide, hairy halfling feet, it's slim, hairy puka feet.
Yeah.
And a little bit kind of, you know, he got a pep in his step. He's got a bounce in his trance.
Ooh.
You're definitely the most strange-looking halfling I've ever seen.
That is fair to say, actually. I'll give you that one.
I do like your ears, though.
Well, you know, I could give you some. Do you want some? Can I
No, this stash is all anyone could really take from me.
Aye, that's true. It might be
It's a lot.
I could never quite grow the stash. It stays here. That's the
It's
problem.
basically 2 bunny ears on my face, really.
Yes, I think his mustache might be longer than your ears, Hawk, actually. They look like there's more length and heft to them.
They're quite
Sounds like a
long. Well, I'll start like doing this.
One gets longer, one gets
Yeah,
shorter.
exactly.
I must say, Pim, it's strange to see. Well, I've met a couple of halflings in my time. You look like quite a sturdy man. You've got sinewy forearms. Not really something I've come across with many halflings. You look like you could handle a blade.
What are you saying?
Tell me, do you adventure?
I don't want to, brag or anything. I'm, kind of well known in the town. Iggy will tell you. I've slain a few of the, wild beasts around the area.
Ooh, we could do the Beast Slayer if you're available.
He's a legend. He's a legend on Agla.
We could certainly do with a legend. That would be even more useful.
I honestly, I literally have nothing better to do, so I.
Well, what are you doing in Ossory? What brings you to Werewolf City?
Well, it was as I was telling Iggy, our hometown really could do for a little bit of help. So I came seeking, assistance, and well, it hasn't gone very well. They haven't really heard the name of, Pim the dog rider. Pim Wildheart.
He's a wild one as well. I'm a wild
Who's
bitch.
the dog?
Oh, they called me Dog Rider in school as well. Hard to shake a nickname.
Now, what order is that?
This fine specimen of a dog. His name is Whiskey Bear. He does drink a lot of whiskey, but don't give it to him. He's an asshole.
Keggy has, when a smaller puppy dog is like trying to mess with like a bigger dog kind of thing. Keggy is just like going up to him and like trying to play with him and stuff.
Like stopping.
Yeah, and it's so Keggy is literally a barrel with legs. And Randir hears that you are a legend, so he's like, "Hello, would you like to buy some beer?" And he hands you a tankard of dark, whiskerous beer.
Well, I say you're friends. I like them a lot, Iggy.
Pim, make a Constitution saving throw. Randir isn't the best of brewers. Sometimes he's really good.
I'm great, but the one thing I'm trying to flog is terrible.
Well, let's see. I did it on D&D Beyond because why not? That's a 19. Or no,
19.
No, actually, yeah, it's 19. Yeah,
19. It is, this tastes good. It's rare that you'll find a beer that is as strong as. Is this Dying Light or a different?
Dying Light.
Yeah, Dying Light. There's a little there's an alcohol heat to the back of it, but it's nice. It's smooth. It's a dark beer, but it hides that punch well. You could see, a less hardy, less legendary kind of maybe level 1 adventurer, having to cock this kind of too strong. But you've seen it takes more to shake Pim than a hefty strong beer. And in one big look, empty tankard in front of you, Randir.
that was a fine beer, sir.
Oh, all right.
That's what I would say after I've drank it as well. It is fine.
I believe that as the night goes on, you make it finer.
Well, we may have to also invent a new beer for Pim as well. All right.
Maybe some fruit, some cucumber.
Yeah.
Soda water. You call Pims.
Yeah.
We're on to a winner, I think.
2 M's.
Yes. For the
Have to distinguish it between the folk hero Pim and the drink.
You could even name a time after it. You could say it's Pims O'Clock. Certain sports could always have it nearby. You could associate it with sort of colonizing nations. Whatever you want to do, Randir.
Yeah, Randir is just in his notebook, just writing loads of stuff down, just loads of ideas and stuff, and throwing stuff into the back of Keggy as well.
Pim starts giving him like little tips from his like halfling family tradition, like, throw it in an elderflower, make it wonderful.
Can I
Yeah.
can I pull you aside there, Pim, and say, what can I ask? What were you coming here to ask them for? What do you think? So I was like, oh.
It suddenly dawns on you, Pim, how Iggy hasn't been able to solve the town's problem in the time she's been away.
I was
I
like,
see you still have that little small issue. We're working on it.
I'll just keep hearing the more demon is just powerful and impossible to fight.
It is, and I was hoping, because I was hoping we could find some help. But yeah, it came to me one night in a dream telling me there was something wrong with this place, and I started to investigate, and I very quickly found there was something. I never actually found out what was going on or where it was, but I knew there was something not quite right. So I came here to, try and find some help, because I'm as intelligent as the next halfling, but I'm now a genius, and I might be good with a sword. But the
town have said that they will help. I know they'll help be a base for us, and they might help in general. They have like a little task for us, and so you might be perfect to help us do that.
Well,
be beneficial.
That's brilliant. Yes, I would love to help. Yes, wonderful.
I haven't actually. Look, I'm not sure where the guys are on this. Guys, what are you thinking about the whole get the werewolves on our side thing?
Well, I'll take as many sword arms as I can get. This shit's about to get real crazy in the next couple of weeks, I think. So anyone who's willing to help would be most appreciated. Also, the werewolves say we've got to get the heart of a stone golem, which doesn't sound super simple. So I'm open to any assistance there, really.
Are you asking about adding more friends?
I am.
I'm on board. Yeah. I think
you were never going to be the tough sell, Huck, my boy.
Do I have enough friends? No, not at all. Yeah, not yet.
It would be nice to not be the newbie of the group.
Is Randy just gonna haze him really bad?
Yeah, he's the hazy eye guy.
Carry my bags.
Yeah, come on, shortstop. Yeah.
Well, I would love to come and be your new fellow, and help you with the sword arm. But I do want to ask one question. Have they indicated any type of pay? I'm a little skint at the minute.
This is the first time we've ever thought about pay.
I never really thought to ask for money. No.
We're sort of more in the game. I'll be honest, but okay.
We could certainly figure out a monetary agreement for your services. We're basically getting this thing to use this area as a base of operations. But if you require monetary recompense, we can certainly figure out an agreeable deal.
That would be most appreciated. It's just unfortunately I've used all of my money getting here, and they've been very hospitable, but yes, I could.
Not a lot of cash. Yes.
Yes, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry to say that. I don't mean. I would help you anyway, but I'm just asking.
Well, we have cash. Sure, we pick it up and we never spend it. We've got you covered. I mean, usually what happens with us is we never ask for pay, because by the time we're nearly done with the job, we've usually annoyed the people who gave us the job, and we just move on.
Yes, we're usually escorted out before money comes up, but we can certainly figure out.
I didn't know if we've ever gone back and said, "Hey, we did the thing that we said we were going to do." Oh wait, we got that statue. That was good. Other than that, it's a series of events in which we move on. Never looked.
D&D campaign I've ever played. I didn't realize that was the thing that you did. Okay.
I
like how Huck's punks are finally figuring out the economy. Financials.
He's literally never thought about it.
We can certainly pull our money. I mean, I can spare 30 platinum. What's that? 300 gold. I can certainly spare that for the assistance of.
Wonderful. Yes, absolutely.
Would that cover it? No,
We usually play Tiddlywinks with the platinum. It's the best one for the Tiddlywink.
I'm like, Aaron, this is quite lovely. Oh, God, jeez. Lost that down the crack of the floor. Oh, well.
I'd say like Hook and Iggy and Randy Randy would be pretty clued in by this stage. Arlington doesn't really have a huge grasp on the concept of money. He just knows that's a percentage of the money he has, and he never really spends. So he thinks he's probably underselling it. So,
and Pim is happy to accept.
Before it's even on the counter, swipe.
Yeah. Well,
the evening.
Do it now. No, at the end of it will be bloody fine. It's just like I said, I just like to eat, and I need money to eat. So
absolutely, we'll make sure you're well taken care of. Don't worry.
We're very kind, very kind. Oh, and whiskey as well. He requires 600 platinum. No,
of course.
Whiskey reminds me of my mother. He'll be well taken care of. It's the jowls and the fluffy nose.
I mean, is that
laying down behind Pim like, oh God?
Because it doesn't sound like that was Grud talking. Does that mean that the High King had a
Tig has some funky taste in women.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, like as in Arlington's mother was actually a human woman. She just was not conventionally attractive.
Arlington had a mother. The Tig had a wife.
Wouldn't know.
No.
I actually don't know. We never covered that.
I thought
he was adopted. Arlington had many human mothers. He just Tig didn't wait a particularly long time to introduce them to him.
Yeah. He seems like that kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of close friends.
Yeah. You had a lot of aunts. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The evening, in and of itself, sort of gets away from you, as is wont to do when you meet, when friends reunion and you're, after a battle and you drink and food and everything is prepared. Over that course of the evening, as conversation sort of flows, you pick up, Pim, you pick up information about what it is cursing the town of Onagla. And it seems like there's a demon at the bottom of the cliffs. And this is Iggy who tells you this, that she's figured out there's a demon at the bottom of the cliffs who is luring kind of people to the cliffs and to sort of take their life force for that's a D&D way of saying to kill them.
To reduce their hit points.
And then fail 3 death saves.
To crit them when they're down. It's not a TPK, it's a TTK, total town kill.
So I just knew people were disappearing, right? So I didn't really understand what was going on. Yeah. So I'm like, shocked. What? There's a demon killing people?
Very real. I see it in my dreams. It's what told me to leave Onagla, and because I was stopping people, and if I ever go back, it will just kill more people that I love. And I have tested this concept, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a very real demon.
Yes, that was. I believe it was your sister. Who was it that died, Iggy?
Randy's very confused.
It was your sister. Your stepsister was the one in your family who passed away when you kind of accidentally tested the boundaries.
I thought that was an intentional awkward pause.
I'm so sorry, Iggy. I knew her well.
Yeah, I
thought she just went off adventuring.
In a way, I suppose. Maybe she is. I don't know. I mean, there's magic involved, so maybe some of our town is down there or somewhere. I like to think that, but I don't know. All I know is that I have to believe in the curse as of now and try to break it.
Yes, I understand completely. I thought they were just disappearing. I knew that this was wrong. In the dreams I had, there was something there. I had teeth and eyes. And
yes.
It was just a dream monster or something.
It is, and yeah, exactly. It's the more demon. Yeah. All I know is we need to find something that is maybe as powerful as it, or something to banish it. I'm ashamed to say that I've been gone so long, and I haven't figured it out yet.
Well, I'm here to help you, the mighty Pim. I will be the sword and the shield at your side, and I will protect you the whole way.
Arlington roars in response. Huzzah! Yes, Pim.
Randy is just like, did you sacrifice your sister to a demon? Did I hear that right?
No.
No, she wasn't a sister. No.
Hmm.
Misspoke.
Yeah, I mean, it was a stepsister. Come on.
Evil stepsister.
Yeah, Randy's just like, yeah, I've heard fairy tales where the stepsisters are awful. So yeah, okay, cool. You have me. I will help.
Well, to be fair, in this situation, there were 2 stepsisters, and now one of them is gone. Whether or not the good one is the one that's left over.
Ben, is Tig still in Ossory?
Tig's still in Ossory.
I'd like to ask him about more demons if he knows anything about them.
All right, James Lipton. Well, my boy.
Hello, I'd like to ask you about more demons.
More demons? We're already asking about something.
More demons. Well, I don't know a lot about more demons, to be honest. It's the first I've heard. But what Arlington? What is a more demon?
Big eye, teeth, large, sort of playing on a village.
You're thinking of more begs.
No, oh my God, it's not a morbeg. You don't think it's a morbeg, do you? There's no hope if it's a morbeg.
If it's a morbeg, there'll be more than one. But I don't think...
Because where there are more begs, there are more. Yes, I know the phrase. Well, do you know much of demons in general? I'm afraid I don't believe I've ever met one.
Well, Arlington, I've actually been meaning to have this conversation with you a little bit, and haven't had the time, to be honest, between, driving you around with your friends to your parties and to picking you up at whatever time you need to come home at, and just getting you everywhere. It's just, I have a job, Arlington, things to be doing. Some of my close friends have been missing me, and they get annoyed when they don't. Look, neither here nor there. I know a little bit about you and this high king that's trapped inside you, and I know a little bit about it. I've been thinking on it with the planes and the material plane and the Feywild plane, and I did a little bit of research while I was minding Iggy, kind of reading books, sitting beside her, and it turns out that the High King's kind of really important to keep the material plane safe, and that there's other people like you, but in different realms of existence, so to speak. So your job is to make sure that the material plane stays safe, and there'll be someone in the underworld whose job is to make sure that nothing from the shadow plane gets out. And if something from the shadow plane got out, that would be a demon, I suppose. So Dunn from Chuck Dunn, he kind of keeps the passage of time between this world and the next flowing, and if things were coming back, or if anyone was sort of interrupting that for their own means, kind of stopping the true passing on of people, then that would be Dunn's realm and kind of jurisdiction. And then there's another lad, and look, I pray to God you never meet him, because his name was Baelor the Evil Eye, and he's in the far realm. And if you could, if you're ever in the far realm, boy, you're beyond my help, to be honest. It's not a place you want to be going, but he'll keep all what's wild and crazy there in place. And God, they're fierce wild out in the far realm. Like, it's just there's a certain way of speaking out in the far realm, and you can barely hear and understand what they're saying half the time, because they're just mumbling along just under their breath, and they're just everything's pandemonium there. And honestly, Arlington, whatever you do, don't be going to the. What did I tell you about going to the far realm? Don't be going to the far realm.
I know it's all right. I won't, and I definitely didn't. Definitely didn't.
Well, what was I? Well, it's just
was our fight with Baelor, was that canon? I can't remember.
Technically speaking, yeah.
Do I remember that
on one shot happened in a sort of camping scene in a fraction of a second of time, of which you.
Do I remember fighting Baelor?
Yeah, you all went back in time. I remember you dying a lot.
Oh no, I, the player, remember that. I'm wondering if Arlington remembers his fights with Baelor. I feel like I'm wondering basically what I know anything about Beholders then, considering he killed me 100 times.
Yes. In fact, you have what they call the video game test. You've died 100 times at the hands of
Right.
Beholder, giving you an in-depth knowledge of all their There are
So
ways
I
to
can
use-
now speed run a more demon.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know it inside out. And it is at that. It's at the mention of Baelor and what he looked like that you make the connection. This is a beholder. And it seems like it's a beholder that has escaped the shadow plane and not the far realm, which is a bit odd because beholders and sort of mind flayers and your sort of more creepy crawly, weird, different realm stuff, your kind of Lovecraftian stuff, that's far realm. Shadow is like, well, the shadows you fought and anything that's sort of demons and underworld and all that kind of stuff. Not canonically in D&D. This isn't a Wizards of the Coast thing. This is a Hibernian thing. I basically just crushed the where you find fiends and where you find demons and devils into just one place. Because
that's easier.
Boy, do nerds catch it on the internet if you get that wrong. So canonically in this world, all underworld, baby.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you, Papa. That's most helpful. Also a crushing amount of pressure to know that I'm apparently holding the soul of the being that protects this entire realm of existence, but I'm sure we'll cover it in the next meeting of the realms or whatever it is. Thank you. Okay.
Not everything's about you, for Christ's sake. Like, come on. We all have problems.
Yeah, no, you're right. You've had a hard time ferrying us around. I understand. That was selfish of me, Papa. I'm very sorry.
Just do your bit. Like, I do my bit, raising you, and you should do your bit, protecting the realm, Like,
yes, you're absolutely right. Can I get you some tea or something? You've had a very... I don't mean to be a bother.
Randy, is this
you know what, boy? I feel like in the last couple of days I've come from a very loving father to kind of an annoyed step uncle, I suppose, is the way to call it. I should really calm down. It's just been a lot on my mind, and with the All Ireland,
it's been an interesting arc. You were just a paragraph on a character sheet when this started, and now you're a person.
I was going to say, Rander is sitting awkwardly close to the conversation.
He's
and
definitely present.
watching, going like, and it's kind of one of those things that it's just like, he's there, but no one is paying attention.
And he's, like the position he's in, he can't just stand up and leave. He has to stay.
Yeah. He's also in mid, like, handing Arlington a beer, and it's just frozen there as well, kind of going...
Is he going to take it? Yeah.
And he just hands it to which could Papa Tig, and then walks off after the...
Oh, thanks, Rander. Glad some of your friends have some manners, Like,
Yes, he's very good. I'm glad you like him, Papa. I'll leave you to your bear. Thank you very much, Papa Tig. I'll talk to you later on.
Bye.
I'm going to go hang out with my friends now. She was in a coma.
Shut up. She was in a coma. I was looking after her in a coma. Like, as if you had the time. You were off. Pim and Iggy, as often happens when two people from the same town get together, you start talking about things that aren't necessarily the more demon, and you realize that you grew up hearing stories of two stone golems who actually lived either side of the Widow's Ravine. So it kind of, Iggy, the thought comes to you, and look, I don't want to railroad you as a DM. It's not like you've planned to go to Anagla 3 days from now, canonically in the show. But the thought occurs to you that you could possibly go get the stone golem's heart and continue on to just the outskirts to chat with your dad, who you've sort of wanted to ask about your mom, find out her real name, which canonically at this point in time you do not know yet, but as the audience and everyone else here, we know. Yeah, it's multiverse stuff.
Oh, okay. So the heart that we need to steal isn't like the one that's beside this town.
It could be. Yeah. Guys, and there was stories of the of these two stone golems who live either side of the ravine, and as folk tales are wont to do, some people say that the ravine itself was caused by them splitting up. A literal crack through the kind of earth itself caused by this breaking of two stone golems.
Okay, I think that we would have figured this out and thought, two stone golems with one stone golem. I don't know what the phrase is, but two birds.
Two birds with one stone golem.
One heart.
Yeah. But if they broke up, then surely their heart will be broken. It'll be of no use to us.
We should teach them to love again.
I was thinking if they're broken up, then surely that's not the heart you need.
I feel like if we bring 2 pieces of a broken heart, it's much of a muchness. You just sort of...
Well, that means you found a friend after a long period of time.
Yeah, we can just attach each one to a locket, and then years later, when we meet up, we can just link them together, and then we can have like a secret handshake, and
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're still carrying the giant boulder. Yes, well, let's put
dragging it
aside.
along. It's quite enormous. It's a literal noose, an anchor around my neck.
I'm imagining the Rock of Shame or whatever it is in the
Yeah.
Remove the rock of shame. Attach the rock of triumph.
yeah.
It's like we could just take a bit of limestone, a bit of sand, and put them together. It could work.
That's aren't hearts, they're richer for having been broken up with, right? We all,
So I've heard, but it's never happened to me.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, me neither.
The cover of Iggy's journal says like, every crack in my heart tells a story.
Every wrinkle on my face.
Yeah.
She started to fill those cracks with limestone and sand. That's
Yes.
an idea.
Those cracks in your heart with limestone.
Oh, I'm sure this place has some golems around here somewhere.
I will.
I mean, Ignatius, if you need to go home and beat up a demon what's been killing people, 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm up for killing a demon.
I think I have a feeling. I mean, Rua, now that she can't, see into my thoughts, if we visited my father, he knows her most, or he knew her once at a time. I think speaking to him could be useful. So
your father knew her in the crucible sense.
I was just waiting for somebody to make the comment. I was gonna be like,
Crucible sense?
in the Arthur Miller.
No,
kind of
I get
Crucible.
it. It's just
Yeah.
You saw me as John Proctor Wes. You know my
Yes,
my
no,
fabled performance.
that's specifically where my mind went. I'm like, I saw you in that, like the
Lucy's
dog
over there
getup.
like, why do I game with boys?
Crucible. I don't know if you're gonna bring it up.
So your character had this traumatic childhood experience, and then these people were fucking. Keep those
They were
things
getting
separate.
on.
Yeah.
Started accusing everyone else of being a witch or in league with the devil.
Mhm.
And once you're broken up with, you're useless, and you're
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't possibly be a fortress. That's what we're saying.
It's also in the Crucible that
we
they
can't
attach-
use for a fortress.
they attach a stone to a man's body and crush him slowly. There's a lot of Crucible themes coming up. We've got a town with demonology. We've got knowing people. We've got crushing people with giant stones.
Pretty sure there was a demon.
Yeah.
Randy's gonna sit this one out. Nope. He doesn't deal with. I don't deal with demons and witches. Nope. And crucibles.
I will, Randy.
Randy,
If you're going to be a part of Huck's Punks, you got to wade into any old monster.
If we can reverse what's happened to Iggy's whole town, that's an entire town of people that would be in your debt and very open to trying Dying Light Ale. They probably need a drink
cracks
after an experience
his,
like that.
Yeah, Randy cracks his knuckles and takes out his hammer and he's just like, "Let's go!" And he's like marching off in any old direction.
He doesn't know where he's going.
Yeah.
Not bad for -1 in charisma.
Randy really rolled badly.
Yes, Iggy, I think a trip to Anagla would be a great idea. Would certainly be worth chatting to your father.
We didn't even know you had a half sister. We should be straight there to sort that out.
Huck, I think it's a pretty strong emphasis on had in the past tense would be why we hadn't heard.
Is that a thing? Is that death?
Like, yes.
Are you asking me is death a thing? Because that's a bigger conversation than what we have time for here.
Look, you had your book about sex, but I haven't had a book about sex.
I did. I haven't gotten to the end of that actually.
You don't want to mix
It's
up
anticlimactic.
your
Anticlimactic.
Don't
Sure,
ruin
it's
the
actually quite
ending.
climactic.
I'm gonna spend the rest of the evening showing Huck pictures of death and all of the people in my town died, and my beautiful sister, just so he really understands.
No, Huck's going to become.
I'm gonna be behind her, like, yes, that was so and so. God, she was lively, wasn't she? Until she was dead.
Adding color commentary to a death journal.
That was. Let's name some past people. That was Alska. Alska was one of the first to go. Soup We all remember Soup.
There's Soup. She's
What
dead.
about the entire Boys and Berries gang?
All the boys and berries, they're gone.
All the boys and the berries are deceased.
Yeah.
I feel like
They're
Benny,
a rival
the
gang.
Jets, boys, and the berries, they're all gone.
I feel like we're gonna turn like Hook emo now after that. Like,
Oh yeah.
or
Oh,
goth.
Yeah.
Or more-
By the time we
maybe
get to
goth.
Unagly, he's gonna be like real grim and sad.
yeah. He's prestidigitated all the clothes to be black, and running mascara. He's applied it in running already. He hasn't cried, but
Prove your commiseration.
it's so sad, Iggy. Why'd you never? Say-
Huck,
this is
Huck,
probably
go,
what-
go play with Whiskey Bear. Go play with Whiskey Bear. Perk you right up.
Whee!
Go play with Whiskey. He needs a little friend. Just give him a little scratch with his chin. He loves it.
Oh wait, he'll think he's a rabbit. No.
I haven't thought this through.
As chaos erupts around the banquet hall, with Whiskey chasing Hook, obviously thinking he's a rabbit. We are
He
going
loves
to
rabbits,
take
by the way, in
our-
real life and in the game.
I'm not sure.
Perfect. We're going to take our halftime break. But before we do, we have a little dice giveaway. Literally, these dice in my hand. These are the Ember dice from Dakota Irish. I have been using them tonight. Hasn't been a lot of rolling, but these will be the literal dice I roll that I will post to you anywhere in the world, wherever you are. I'll post them there. If it's in the world, I'll post it there. If they have post, I'll get it to you. So for this giveaway, it's just for the live chat. It's just for the people watching along. While we go on break, just comment Whiskey Bear into the chat, and we'll pick a winner out of the comments from Whiskey Bear in the chat. Whiskey is spelled as expect. Hey, look at that! Amazing.
Perfect timing.
We will be back in 15 minutes, where we pick up on the party carving their way across the wilderness of Hibernia to find the stone golem's heart and potentially make their way to Unagla. All right, see you in a few. Hello,
Oh,
and welcome to part
Terry.
2. Welcome to part 2 of episode 50 of Homebrew. If you're just joining us and weren't literally the 6 of us, we've been just talking about plum wine. But for you in the audience, we have a dice giveaway. So I've gone to wheelofnames.com and I click to spin. Spin, spin, spin the wheel. The winner is... Ooh, knocked it out by... It did that wheel thing where it was so close, but Barry won. My headphones are clapping and cheering.
Hey,
That's gas. Go to
Congratulations.
wheelofnames.com, put in 3 random things. It's actually loads of fun. Gas. But congratulations,
The little
Barry.
things, man.
You have won these literal dice. I feel bad because I can literally walk these to Barry, but I'll post them. I said I'd post them.
Yeah, you got to post them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you would do it anywhere in the world, and it somehow went.
This is what you do, Ben, right? You write it down, you put like a stamp on it, but it's not really a stamp. And you just go up to his house and put it in a slot.
Yeah. I'll get my blue Bic and pretend it's stamped. You know the way the post office do like an official,
Yeah.
we've received this. I'll trace that onto... Is that a crime? Is it a crime to forge
No.
post?
No.
Okay.
No, only if you get caught, Ben.
As with all crimes.
Barry's definitely going to grass you up for it as well now if he sees it. You know.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Like
Congratulations.
sometimes I get like customers from like Greg DeManor or like Bagnallstown or like somebody that's like really near me, and I'm always like, oh, this has got to go to Germany and back. It's like take it over there and like put it in there. You know, that was so funny. Like because I actually had a guy give out to me on Trustpilot because he was like, oh, this doesn't come from Ireland, it comes from Germany. I'm like, no. I was
No,
like,
that's not how it
do I
works.
sound German to you? Do I look German? 9.
There's a thing, Ben. We could get homebrew like crested wax stamp. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have not a homebrew one.
Stamps.
I literally in my drawer here. Look, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Wax stamps are cool. Yeah.
What did I tell you? He's bad for the wax stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, wax
I
and
got
everything.
I got a letter from you once with a wax stamp. It was very cool. It was very confusing because it was like past the parcel because I got a regular envelope and then I opened up and there was just another envelope with a wax stamp on it. I was like, what?
Yeah, I
What
couldn't.
sorcery is this, sir?
I was living in Canada at the time, and they would not accept my wax stamped envelope. I had to do it, but I think at the time I also I am an arsehole, as you know. So I wrote it from the perspective of like an old timey person. I think I signed it the Marquess of Toronto. I was like, like challenged you to a duel for like or to a like I don't know. I'm hoping that you lose it someday in a very very close to somewhere that an archaeologist might be interested in digging. And they pull it up and they're like, Toronto had a Marquess? What the?
I actually
There was once a land called Toronto?
You also wrote it in your old elf character. Who,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was themed as well.
Yeah, it's nerdier.
yeah.
Or nerdy.
Who would have
No,
guessed?
I was
Had mine here, Ben. I found the one that you wrote me as well just recently, and I swear it's actually within my grasp somewhere to show it off your calligraphy. But
We all
by
know
then,
you keep it in a letter-sized locket by your heart. at all times.
I know it is weird that it's so close, but it was actually in an old camera bag for like 10 years, and it just recently made its way out. But that's what I was thinking about.
Should we
I-
press
Turns
I
out-
would
turns out
definitely-
everyone's getting letters, huh? You just told me.
Keelan's over there like, where's my letter, Ben? Well,
I
Did I
didn't
not
get
send
any
you a letter?
wax stamp letters. Ben was like, I'll see you when I see you. That was it.
I'm just hoping now I didn't send Claire a letter.
awkward.
Yeah, I don't think you did, but you know.
No.
And in
Well,
it
she-
stamped
It's worth
all my
another secret.
love,
Yeah,
Marquess to Toronto.
yeah. The letter he sent to Claire actually is just all X's. It's just like.
Didn't want to
Yeah,
lose
it's
any space.
I like to think now that Ben's going to write you a letter that's just going to be like, now I've fulfilled my contractual obligation. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
Just says it's
Yeah.
a big wax seal. It looks lovely. It just says you're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
I actually do have black wax for that specific.
Oh, good.
I colored the waxes depending on who I sent the letters to. Anyway, this isn't letter quest. This is Homebrew Quest.
Can I give a check-in, a beer check-in to say this is delicious. This is
It's good, is
perfect. As a lager fiend, it is so nice. It's perfect. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
I was
Anyone else
afraid because the
practice
can was so nice. I was really afraid it wasn't going to be nice. That's genuinely good news.
well, like, it's what I like. So it's not super flavorful, but it's in a really nice way. So
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pill. You made a good choice there.
There's nothing worse than being excited to have a beer and find out it's shit.
Yeah.
No.
Especially if you bought 8 of them and they were a $5 each or something.
Like a Lucy situation, if they're all shut.
yeah, I did literally have 8. I actually the rest of them are in the car because I was like, I'm not going to bring all 8 cans in. I should have. They're lovely because I just have other I have a random one here.
Oh, Blarney. Yeah.
The Barney one. Lovely.
I'm jealous of all your guys' craft beers. I was big into craft beers for a long time, and then I think I was saying this to you, Ben, the first time we met or something. I was like mad into it, and then I just got out of the craft beer. Like I couldn't find every one I tasted was crap, and I was like, I got out.
It's
of
gotten
the
a lot
craft
better
beers.
now, but yeah, there was definitely a period where there were the staples that were good, and then just everyone else doing weird shit that didn't taste nice.
I've added all the hops into this. It's like, did I go
Yeah,
together?
exactly.
Nope.
Yeah.
There was a while there where if you didn't like German beers, you probably would have been pretty screwed.
Yeah.
It was just all of the big German beers using the base 4 ingredients or whatever it is that they do.
Yeah, make dexterity saving throws. Rocks are about to fall. Everyone's about to die.
Fuck sure. No, we're talking about craft beers.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I got to rum and that was it. I'm just sticking there. I did.
Nice. Why would you change? You don't actually have to make dexterity saving throws. There's nothing happening. But we should dive into the game. I get the feeling that people watch this for its alcoholic content and not its robust flavor.
Oh, is it too late to change the tagline for the show?
Enjoy homebrew for its robust flavor, not its alcoholic content. We dive straight back in, and you guys have set off. You've gotten, if you want mounts, you got them. Yeah, they sorted you out. You want anything else? You got
Shotgun
it.
whiskey bear.
Well, that's not very good for whiskey bear.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm the one person who definitely
The
should.
largest, yeah.
Take a big old horse.
Are we heading to Agla? Are we going to?
Well, how far away is Agla from here?
It's quite a long ways, isn't it, Iggy?
Would we? I mean, what about a teleportation circle?
There is no teleportation circle in on Agla.
Even
in
to
our
get
big
us
map.
close?
Can I see it there? It's actually
You're at the closest one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is the closest town to where we are on the map. That is on this map that has like 5 towns on it.
Hey Ben, you said we were all good for mounts, right?
Yeah.
Can I have a hippogriff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I have
hippogriff.
voodoo?
Can you have voodoo?
This is great.
You worked it in.
Sure.
Yes.
Vo-
Yes.
Voodoo the werewolf?
Yes. Voodoo the werewolf's my mount.
So it's just a piggyback.
Do I have to carry the entire way around here?
Yeah,
Quite
actually-
dense.
Actually, I will.
He's not even transformed. He's in his human form. He's got you on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Actually, probably
Hush,
that's just regular horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I checked my weight. Not a light person.
No.
I think you're probably the more dense of us. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we just set off. Just have a little.
To answer your question, Arlington, it's about. It would normally take you about 5 or 6 days. However, with Pim Wildheart at hand, who is very good at traversing the wilds of Hibernia, that cuts that time down into one more time I said during the montage episode. That exact time.
Oh my
Okay.
god, sure.
But we're gonna roleplay that out. We're not skipping straight to Anagla. We're gonna roleplay it out. So you set off east across the wilds of Hibernia. Iggy, as you know from that map, it would be pointless to go down to the roads and around. You're actually just closer, just cutting across the wilds. There's no clear road to follow. There's a few goat trails, a couple of wagon paths, and it's a mix of open, sort of rocky plains. There's a few clusters of woodlands. And you all notice, a couple of hours into your journey, it seems to be a gradual stretch ahead that slopes upwards towards the distant hills of Iggy's homeland. Arlington, you of all people can see the furthest with your mile-long eagle vision.
A mile long. Actually, further. A mile long with perfect vision. And a little bit further than that.
Yeah. So not so perfect vision, but you do see, as you kind of hit a more open plain, you can see what is the mountain range of the Widow's Ravine. It is a little bit like if Ben Bulben in Sligo. Yeah, Ben Bulben. I was thinking of Ben and Donner, the giant. And if Ben Bulben in Sligo stretched your entire 180 periphery, it's huge. It's a long, it looks like an obstructing wall ever sloping upwards. And you keep going, it's that thing that's just like in a video game setting, it's always in the background. You're like, okay, yeah, we're never reaching that. And as you pass through the lands, you pass a couple of farmlands, a couple of shepherds herding some restless sheep. It's a little bit irritating to be a farmer these days because the day cycle has stopped. So animals aren't doing okay because they have no idea what time it is. And you do pass through a small crossroads town. It sort of reminds you of what Beaverton, the town that was sort of overgrown with Feywild plants and wildlife, would look like if it wasn't devastated. It's that kind of town. You see there's a couple of buildings and a small pub with a sign outside of it. And more notably than this small sign is a group of humans who burst out of this pub and march straight towards you. They're kind of a mix of, they look like in basic kind of clothes, like cloaks, simple sword. One of them has a shield, one of them has a lute. And it's the guy with the lute that marches up to whoever was in front and goes, "Have you seen the Goblin Raid?"
What?
I know. Have you seen no goblins called Raid or otherwise?
The mayor's daughter has been stolen by goblins.
Okay, no, I don't know that we entirely have time for this. Sorry.
Tell us where they went. Tell us where they went. Right. And you get the feeling like he's not sure whether to persuade you or intimidate you. You tell us exactly where they went.
Okay.
I'll handle this. And he just hands him a beer. Just hands him a Dying Light ale. Calm down,
it
man.
Immediately goes into one of their satchels, and you see in that satchel there's rope, grappling hook. They seem to jingle jangle the purse. You get a couple of coppers on them. The bedroll, rations. If we can get the mayor's daughter from the Goblin Raid, then he might give us the gold he promises us. 5 silver for this quest.
Look, young adventurers.
Yes. Did you learn that you're supposed to get paid for things? Very good.
Very good lesson. Yes, they know very much.
These guys are
we
smart.
sort of don't have time for this. Should we just ignore them and keep going?
Well, they have it handled. So there's already abandoned adventurers on the quest.
Exactly, they've got it under control. Look, there's not an exclamation mark over my head. We can keep going.
Oh, could our friend here can't see very well. Arlington, could you around? Could you just see if you can see? I'm thinking, can you just do it
cartoonishly peer around with a hand advising my eyes?
Where is the mayor's daughter?
Zooms in. It's just some goblins with a princess or a mayor or whatever daughter, just turning a corner. You're like, oh, there they are. Yeah. Oh.
Arlington, make a perception check.
She seems to be enjoying herself.
She seems to like it. That is 21.
21. Yeah. You see a group of goblins and the mayor's daughter, and you see inside the mayor's daughter's pocket is a note saying, "I ran away from home on purpose. The mayor is abusing me. It's a moral conundrum."
She's over there, and I don't think we can help you. I think it's important you learn this lesson by yourself.
You're welcome.
It'll be
friend.
a good
Thanks.
A good test of character for you. On your way.
You're a little bit of an asshole. Just
the boys got to learn.
you see one of them get a little bit fighty, and the other one goes, "No, the goblins are more important, Dave."
Then you say, "Not now, fighty. Save it for the goblins."
Arlington, you've never once been as useful at the start of any of our quests.
I'm not useful because I've been through so many quests with you, my boy.
I didn't know what you're saying. I would never have let the goblins get away in the first place. Everything here would be a crater.
Look, I'm the protector of this plane of existence, and I just need to make sure that it's safe. That's all there is to it. I don't have time for mortal dealings. I don't think I'm I'm probably mortal. You know what I mean. I'm figuring stuff out.
Divide us.
What kind of group have you got in with, Lucy?
I'll be in my trailer.
I mean, Iggy.
They've run off, but you do get the feeling they stopped after 100 meters and looked back and were like, "It's weird how they just stand there. Will they be back when we come back? We'll ask them more questions then." And they continue running, fully expecting you to be exactly where you were when they come back from this quest. And there's a little party that goes, "It's a little bit of a shame they didn't ask her name. That's kind of rude. Why do they never ask names?" Anyway.
I was thinking of asking his name, and then I decided not to.
I was thinking of flexing the fact that we were Hux Punks, but we didn't get a chance.
We were always facing them. They didn't see our backs.
I didn't need to tell them anything. They know I'm Pim.
World renowned. I can tell by the wanted posters.
I know, right? They always want me. I don't really understand.
But they can't have me. Dirty Pim.
Desired poster. Yes, desired Pim.
Oh, that roguish Pim.
Can't tie him down.
Shall we continue on to this demon? Keep going.
Rander just looks in the direction.
I think we solved the mystery.
We solved it.
Rander looks in the direction and just goes, "I hope they'll be okay." And
I can't believe you passed that up. You all could have gotten 15 experience.
It'd be the first actual experience points we've gotten. The whole thing. Yeah, that would be pretty huge.
It's like, I spent 5 hours writing that.
I went to one starter kit on the internet to find that. Come on.
I just hope they're not the opening party of Goblin Slayer.
Don't. I've already said it in chat, man. I've already said it in chat. Anyone who doesn't get that, do not watch it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that gets really dark.
Very quickly.
You continue on and equally quickly, it seems like you've come to a point where the path itself has sort of disappeared, and you find yourselves hiking ever upwards through this craggy, rocky, sort of tall grassland plain. Iggy and Pim,
sorry.
And pushing up a rock constantly up a hill in penance for all the pain you put me through in the last 50 episodes. You know, like, you have the whole range of Widow's Ravine in front of you, but what you're not sure about is, you know, the higher you march, the higher you'll be above sea level, and there comes a point where you don't know where to aim yourselves, because either A, climbing up it could be quite difficult if you go the wrong direction, or B, you could be wildly away from where you think the stone golem story began.
Oh. Can I quickly looking through my spell cards here? Is this something that I could use? What's it called? The dimension door, to like go to the top part of the highest point that I could see and see from there to get an idea of
only in theory, if it was in 500 feet of you, yes, yeah. But it's about 5,000, like, low. It's really far away.
Okay,
like,
we're not.
Yeah, you're still like a day or two away from like hitting that peak. But...
Can I go 500 feet in the air? Is it still? It's still way higher.
You could. It might give you a better vantage point. Like if you want to go 500 feet up and make a perception check, that could help you orientate.
Sorry, you cut out, so I actually didn't hear what you said. But
sorry, I was saying if you wanted to, you could go 500 feet into the air and help yourself kind of orientate, like make a survival check and a perception check to see if you can spot anything.
Yeah, unless someone else might have a much easier solution here. But I thought I could do that.
My background trait says I have excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. So I don't know if I get up, would we then effectively have a map of the area?
Well, can I bring him up with me? Yeah.
Yeah, you could bring the two of you up.
What,
You want
what
it?
about the coming back down aspect? Is that just...
It's going to be another dimension door, I think.
I thought you used dimension door up and down, but I've
a
only
one-way
used
trip.
it like once before.
It is a one-way trip.
Just if you
Damn,
had...
Keelan. Get all my
Getting
D6 ready.
down will surely be easier than getting up, though.
I mean, Arlington...
Sorry, my
It's a one-way spell.
I mean,
okay.
you're brave. You're a brave lass for dimension door into the sky, but maybe think about the landing part.
Well, are we thinking going straight up? Because how far up are we thinking? I've fallen pretty far before and shaken it off.
The 500,
Dimension door,
500
I'm
meters.
pretty sure it's 500 feet.
Oh, 500 feet is probably a bit much, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that much HP.
Yeah.
I will-
And
we can
dimension
try
door
to-
and then dimension door back is 2 4th-level spells. So
Yeah, that is a lot.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not that. I mean, it's not that much if you don't do
Maybe
anything.
that's not necessary.
I mean, if you can do two, then
Also begs the question: will the dimension door also be like a portal? Will the physics continue? So because you'll get up there and then start plummeting, and then you'll make dimension door, and then
you
you'll
take
just
some fall
fire
damage.
into a wall or something, and you'll.
As long as you're not falling for too long.
It's not because dimension door would be like you go in. So as soon as you fall in, you basically just go boom. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if you were falling in, you just come up whoop and just land on the ground boom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to have much of a sense of like, and now let me map it.
Yeah. You're like falling. Oh.
It's beautiful.
Let me cast another spell. As I'm doing it.
Hang on,
Okay.
wait, hold
Sorry,
on.
I need to think
Ignatius,
Get to
why
the
don't
top of the Ben Bulbin stuff?
Ignatius, why don't we do what we did before with your Bigby's hand and just lift me up and I can have a look around?
Oh, I forgot that I had that spell. Yeah.
Bigby's
Oh
for the win.
yes.
I mean, it
Does
worked,
that
it worked
always
pretty
work?
well before,
Sorry.
and I survived pretty handily.
oh,
Excellent. Sorry, I need my I've lost my character sheet here, so I have to get it. But yes, can I? Okay, I'm going to use Digby's hand while I pull it up here.
I can grab it here if you want, just to read the. Is it just to read the spell?
It's 120 feet range, so you can take it
yes.
120 feet.
Nice. Yeah, you can get 120 feet up.
Okay, yes. Then let's. Can I do that, please?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You cast Bigby's hand. I need you to roll a d20.
Ooh.
Sorry,
It's
roll
also a
a
concentration spell, by the way, just to.
d20.
No one hit her in the head.
if you look like you're going to hit the ground,
Sorry,
I'll banish you.
I think we're slowly losing Iggy to the
Lucy,
internet.
maybe use your character sheet on your phone rather than your laptop.
Yes. Let me. I can actually just shut this down. Sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna roll a d20. That's a 2.
Nice.
Oh no!
You got to cast Bigby's hand, and it is a stick hand. It's a very thin level of beam for you to be on Arlington. You can, you could just use it as a load of beams, but it's not a very good hand. Hands are difficult to draw. It's tough.
Okay. I'll kind of latch onto it and kind of hold on to my axe. I look basically like a sloth hanging upside down rather than standing on the hand.
Sure.
This is fine. No, it's wonderful, Iggy. We'll put it up on the fridge when we get home. We're very proud of you still.
Thank you.
It's not a very good hand. We'll have to have a talk
I'm
about
not
the money we
lately.
spent on art
I'm
school.
trying to be insecure about that. Keep note of it.
Yeah, you rise up 120 feet in the air. Make either a survival check or a perception check.
I would love. Actually, it's the same. Oh wait, I have advantage on survival checks, and I always forget why. because I forget how specifically.
Don't
Why do I
question
specifically?
the why.
Well, no, as in, sorry, I think it might be a specific thing, like I have to be deep underground or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the lair skull axe that does it.
The good old lair skull axe.
Sorry, let's double check.
Don't worry, Raz. If it looks like you're getting in trouble, I'll banish you to another player.
That would be very helpful. Thank you. Okay, it says I have advantage on
That'll
throws.
give us a minute to think about what to do.
Okay. We're both pretty bad anyway, so that is a 10.
Yeah, 10. You rise up into the air above this kind of rocky cragland. The sky, as you see it up here, is this glorious crimson. And there's still a little bit of warmth in the evening, although it's morning. You've no trouble looking around and seeing a general sense. What are you specifically looking for?
I'm trying to see any telltale signs of where a stone golem might live, like a lair or something. Like, as in, I know there was apparently 2 stone golems either side of the ravine. So any geography that would point to that and where they might be.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ben,
you spot. Yeah,
while he's doing that, can I just fly up behind him on the hippogriff? And be like, hey.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, this whole time.
yeah. Of course you can.
Great.
And can you also roll surprise?
I don't think my perception's very good, so I won't help.
You expect there to be signs up on the kind of mountain range itself. That's where, from what you've heard, the stone golem is. But you're a little bit too. You're still like a day or two away from getting there. Like the task at hand is try to figure out where on the mountain range to aim for, and you sort of realize that a little bit to the south, downwards, you can't spot anything on the mountain range. It's more than a mile away. But you do see that there is, at the base, in that general direction, sort of very fuzzy clearing. Like fuzzy in the sense that you're trying to make sense of it, and it looks like there is, compared to a cluster of trees around, this is being cleared. And make a nature check, Arlington.
That is a 7 plus nothing. 7.
7. I mean, sometimes there's just nice little rock structures in Hibernia. You don't know what they're for. You're like,
I
sometimes
see a
people just
rock.
put rocks. There's like, they're in patterns. There's like a pattern of rocks at the base of the Widow's Ravine.
Okay, so something suspicious, something that draws the eyes in that general direction to the south.
They look like the tooth fairy circles from our first session.
They do not.
Okay.
Good.
Actually, maybe they did. What were they in the end? They were just very.
It was. I think it was just like a Stonehenge or like a ring of rocks, and Iggy was like, "Yes, tooth fairies. Yes."
In which case,
What about that?
yeah, quite pointedly, they do. Yeah, that's the same kind of structure. Yeah. The sort of stone circle.
Oh, yeah. I will.
Okay.
You want to steer clear of them?
I'll call down and tell them what I see with my enormously powerful vision. And just say,
We should probably head south.
You don't need to yell. I'm right here.
Oh my goodness.
This doesn't feel very safe.
What are you talking about?
As you come
It's very
down,
secure. You've done a wonderful job.
Arlington, you, with the lair skull axe, have a good sense of it. Like, it seems to be at the scale of what you need. You can actually see the ridge of the Widow's Ravine on the very edge of that blade. And you can kind of see, now that you compare them, where that stone circle is. You have a pretty good compass now to that general direction.
okay, so I can figure out the topography on my axe as we go. Cool.
Yeah, the very etchings in your axe move as you move around the world, as a very like an ordnance survey map.
Cool. Perfect.
I have a map.
Way.
Well, then, where do we go? Is that one?
South.
South. Yep. Well, great. Onward, ho.
I mean, Pim, does any of this look familiar to you? Do you recognize these outcroppings? And it's all very confusing around here.
To be completely honest, I recognize everything.
I told you know this lad well. Oh,
I know this. I mean, I was here all the time, but I mean, it was so much fun watching you try to figure it out. You know.
So we were right. We solved it correctly, yes?
You didn't
Sure.
pay Pim to do maps. You paid him to hit things.
That's 100% true. Absolutely.
This sword is all you wanted from me, really.
I mean, I don't regret it. I'm very excited to see him stab something like that.
and with it there as well.
You have no trouble finding a place to camp on the first night. And if there's anything you want to do, or if there's any moment in time you want to come back to this, in fact, it might be this very campsite in which you disappear and fight Baylor of the Evil Eye. For some reason, Randy and Pim was left behind. Who knows? But at the end,
Where did I go?
at the end of the second day, heavy rain begins to fall, and your entire day has sort of been obscured by this low-hanging fog as you sort of make your way further and further up. It's like your HP is fine, your spell slots are fine, but you are tired and wet. It has been a slog. You have come across a couple of there's been a couple of disturbed watches in your camp, a couple of creatures of the wild, trying to attack, but nothing that's of any note. In fact, on the first night, I made for a delicious meal. And through this obscurity, as you march on, wet and cold, which at times, you see the craggy rocks, and they start to you're getting a little bit of that blizzard hallucination. They start to look like ruins. You're like, oh, that's strange. And you swear you see at times castles. In Arlington, you know this for sure. You saw no castles looking in the kind of the middle distance beyond. You had a pretty good vantage point, and so it's really seeing if you were at the top of say Killiney Hill in Dublin, you'd see all the way over to Howth. So you had a really good stretch of sight. And as you get closer to these castles, they're just outcroppings of pure stone. And once or twice you swear there's other people in this rain with you. You think you see other wanderers, and you get there and they're nothing more than broken statues.
Is this
Sort of.
Is this a Fey thing? Do I have any sense of that? Just because there are.
Yeah, make a nature check. That's a really good question, because often you disappear into the Feywilds through fog. So
Yeah, and also a lot of Fey castles are also giant hills, or they look very natural things.
Mhm.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Barrows. I think they, barrows. Oh, not great. What am I rolling? Nature.
Nature.
Oh, I get advantage. That's
Sure
good.
do.
It's worse. Okay. That is 9, I think.
9.
9. Yeah, 9. Oh no, it was
weren't
10. It was 10.
10.
Yeah.
But in and around the same kind of thing. You don't think this is anything to do with the Fae, but you do it makes sense how these rumors start, because if you happen to come across a Fae fog and you were seeing these things, and then there actually was a castle, you'd be like, well, that's how kind of tales around the campfire begin. Things you see through shadows, things you see through fogs. This time you're almost certain it's not that. But
Do Iggy and I recognize the area?
Iggy, I don't think you do, because you went the opposite way from Monogla towards Inish Bay. You were on the west. You're on the eastern side and went down. But Pim, you maybe cut across the wilds. I don't think you would have. There's a road. Lucy, would you mind just holding up that map to screen? I have it here too in my notes.
Would I mind, Ben? I'd love to.
Why do you think we even have Lucy on the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. There's no roads in this map. This is from very beginning. But I can.
This is from episode 3 or something.
Yeah.
Just
So where we have the widow's ravine, there's now a road that heads towards those kind of hills. And you probably went down that road and around, because it's the safest way more than anything else. Because otherwise you would have had to cross the ravine proper and then plummet down. So it looks familiar.
Explored in our youth or anything like that?
It's a little bit too far from your actual hometown. You're still you'd be, when you were kids, it would have been a 4 or 5 day hike.
I can show a map of it.
Oh yeah,
And I just want to say this to you on stream. I think
Oh,
post me a new map. I'm just saying. I think you should send me a new map.
There you go.
I've reached my posting
Hey.
limit. Get those sites to Barry.
So
Tim looks around the place and he's
Post
like,
me the map.
we could have really
"I do not
sidetracked
know
ourselves.
this place.
Hmm?
I have no memory of this
It seems like
place.
there's only one.
Great. So, see Widow's Ravine up there at the top. On angle is just a little bit south of that. So, Pim, you probably carved towards that swirly road, came down to the top, and then along the arch on its way towards Drayt. The Kingdom of Ossory and Beaverton is on that arc to the west. So, between sort of, if you go down from Sleeve
We'll be
Gem
on
towards
south
that.
or somewhere in there.
So, you're kind of between Widow's Ravine. If you did a kind of right angle square from Sleeve Gem and Widow's Ravine, so like straight down from Sleeve Gem, straight across to Widow's Ravine, you're there. That's where you are.
I have such a bad sense of directions. Like what you just said there just didn't even go in. Right angle from what?
You're in a craggy rocky hillside.
Yeah, I don't
You're in Clare.
Even without beer, I wouldn't be able to hear that. Sorry.
Iggy definitely has no memory of this place.
I mean, I basically tumbled into the back of like a cart and went and fell down to English Bag, I think.
The question is it so bad that she thinks we've definitely gone the wrong direction, you know? No, this can't be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Surely I'd recognize it.
I like
Roll
to
the
think
one
that
on
Iggy
your
is
survival.
constantly going. It's constantly kind of just like smelling the air, kind of bringing her paintbrush through the air, trying to literally be like, "Home, do I hear you?" Like that's what I. That's just so you know.
like a divining rod or something.
Yeah, kind of like I'm wondering if I can feel that I'm getting closer.
This is why Iggy's not a
Said
main
the
navigator.
magic of home.
No? As
Okay.
you make your way through this mist and this rain and this sort of horribleness, and you come across these people that are statues and broken, and kind of in the vein of this conversation of being like, where are we? A sense of like isolation settles on the group. It's like it is lonely out here. There's not a lot around. There's a distinct lack of wildlife, and you almost like, especially Arlington and Pim, you're just itching for something to swing an axe at. Like you, veterans just walking through the fucking wilderness.
I kind of feel bad that the only animal we saw we killed and ate. Now that I think about it.
There's, I'm just going to practice my sword swings. And
Well, that sounds
Whiskey's
good.
all
I'll do
like,
that as well. I'll start just circling my.
I don't get hit by my axe while I'm walking along.
Can I create the illusion of like some little foes just out of like light and stuff for them? Like, and so when they bring their sword through it, it's sort of like, you know, I'm just trying to amuse them. Like,
What is it? What is it? An X-Men they're training with.
monster.
Yeah, this is really nice. As you're kind of coming towards the end of the second day, and Iggy, you are kind of making these foes. Pim and Arlington, make an attack from.
Oh God, we're not going to kill each other, are we?
No.
You're gonna kill me or Hook.
Depends how well you roll.
are you gonna kill the fofos? Who knows?
A regular old attack. That is going to be a 22 to hit for me.
Oh,
Nice.
God. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
That's a
amazing.
Where's this going?
As a stout halfling, you don't get it's only Lightfoot that get the reroll ones, right?
Yeah.
Reroll
Huh?
one.
No, all halflings get lucky. Well, I'm not going to use lucky.
Oh,
No.
Fair. Arlington, you like are doing pretty well. You got Lair Skull in your hand, you've got your shield, and you're just like, Iggy can't conjure fast enough for how much you're slaying these imaginary beasts, and it does bring a little bit of levity to the group. Pim, you find yourself swinging at kind of a bigger shadow in the distance, who is kind of making these grunting noises, and I'd like you to roll damage.
Oh, no. I was swinging with my short sword. Hold on. Oh, shit. That hits for a lot.
So one roll was really bad and one roll was really good.
Oh, that's...
Oh no.
Well, it's not too... I mean, we are level 10. It was 9 damage.
no,
We're
it's
dealing
fine.
with
That's okay.
damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
so
a fighter.
Arlington-
The whole thing is he's supposed to hit like 6 times, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about that. I do more than 9 damage just by accident to the.
I'm so sorry. I really thought that was just some light and twinkles. I'm sorry, Pim.
Oh, hang on, let's hear what he actually hits.
Dead.
Iggy, as you apologize to Pim, who seems to have made a mistake, who you're pointedly not apologizing to is Arlington, who just took 9 slashing damage.
Oh shit!
from-
Sorry,
I was tense for that. I'm like, it's either me or Whiskey Bear, and I'm kind of okay if it's
No,
Whiskey.
no.
Yeah, it's definitely you.
Sorry, I'm
Please.
mortified. I was
I mean-
trying to pull up my character sheet because I realized I closed it when you told me to, and I was like, "Wait, Lucy, you might actually need some of that information." So,
Sorry, how
sorry.
much damage was that altogether? Was that 9?
9 damage total.
my little lights damage. Oh god.
But the good news is, Arlington, you step away from Pim, and Pim continues sort of showing off his sword mastery and shield mastery. And Pim is using moves with a shield that you have not seen before and look really effective. Now, Pim, are you mounted on Whiskey Bear during all this?
No, I wouldn't mount Whiskey unless I was charging, we
Right.
were moving, so I might have probably been on him for a while. But no, not for this. It wouldn't be no.
But there is a certain level of it seems like every slash comes with an equally timed block, or every kind of like a 1-2. The 1-2 here being like protect this section but strike in this section, protect here but strike here, protect here and strike here. And as someone who has been looking for a shield master, this halfling might have a couple of things to teach you.
My God, look at the subtle engraving on his shield. The swift elbow work. My God, is that embossed?
I've been telling you to learn from.
He's just doing a little chicken dance with his cheek.
So graceful.
Well, if you want to know, be happy.
I would love to, yes. You swing that shield almost like it were a club, but it also protects. It's fantastic. Teach me all you can.
Oh yes, well, I'm going to teach him I'll show him a little bit of the basics of my particular area of expertise, which is protection.
Ooh, a protection fighter.
Yeah, for this you might need some volunteers, I think, in order to generally get a sense of how to and what to protect. So
I'm gonna go. Pow,
Farm.
pow, pow.
Give me a little go. What how? Tell you how, chap. Come on.
That's
so the game at hand, Arlington, is hit hook, and the game at hand, Pim, is protect hook.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think we should roll some initiative. Anyone else who wants to be in on this game can be, but it's like, on road trips you make your own fun. That's exactly what's happening here. We're like,
I'll only use dodging abilities. I
yeah,
guess.
sure.
Well, that's kind of cool. I actually
Nice.
rolled a
That's
14, but I didn't realize I could click on initiative and roll initiative.
Yeah, it's really handy.
Yeah,
I rolled a 6, but I get advantage on these.
At 23.
23.
Actually, 12 for me.
23. Huck, I think you got 21 there, did you?
Yeah.
Nice. I've never had D&D Beyond on our campaign open before.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
what you guys see.
Yeah,
I have my
yeah.
stupid little Excel spreadsheet over here. This is way better.
This is literally the first time, only because you mentioned hit initiative, so I did, and I got 21. So
Nice.
Well, I bounce back and
this
forth
is
between rolling and
awesome,
D&D Beyond, but I've got the spellbook thing, so I'm like, I'm not going to use D&D
Yeah.
Beyond tonight. This is too nice.
Sound straight.
I'm not
I
going
know
to turn
it's-
down a 21, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what I would have gotten had I
Chase
rolled
your
back.
bliss, Keelan. Chase your bliss.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Check these out.
Oh,
These are can you see them? I don't know if you can see them though.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. This camera's not great, but it's the steampunk ones.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh, they're lovely. Look at that color.
It's hard to see, but it's got like this beautiful like rainbow mica in it. That's
Yeah.
really hard. My camera's shite. Anyway.
Hmm?
Let's see what you got. Oh
I-
shit.
Iggy
Okay, never
takes
mind.
a step back. She's not interested in this.
Never mind,
in
they're
this
broken.
Russell tussle. As you all kick off, Randir, you're up first. You can also play the game. Try a hit Huck.
Okay. So I have. Yeah, I'll take out my Warhammer. Got a 19.
Nice.
Okay,
Huck,
so
what is
as a
your-
reaction, I impose disadvantage on his attack with my shield.
Hey. Because I was looking at it going, ooh, I'm definitely gonna die.
I got a 22 or a 19.
So the 19 hits. Roll an attack.
My God, he used his reaction.
Well,
not a
16.
I get... Okay.
Well, you can still do something, Keelan, if you want.
I can use I have a reaction as well, which is shield.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure. Although I can't remember now. It gives me like 5 AC, which I think he
Yeah,
rolls
it's a
up.
reaction spell. You can use it once
Yeah.
you know if it hits you or not.
Yeah, but it's only +5, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd still hit me if I use shield. So I won't.
So what's your AC?
It's 13.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I am a
He's
sorcerer.
He wears a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Oops.
Welcome back, Iggy.
Yeah, Iggy, you've turned around for one moment, and it seems like chaos has erupted because
They're trying to kill me.
Golem runs in with the warhammer, swings, and you
did
see
Hook
Pim.
know this game was being played, or did we all just start attacking him?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
Huck volunteered for it.
Okay. Oh yeah, of
I'm
course.
over there like, oh, geez. That was quite fast, that round.
He's very confident in skills that he doesn't have the stats to back up.
Well, I think the reality is, Iggy, you see Pim prepare to defend Huck from Arlington. What he did not expect is Randir had some residual rage from being counterspelled. He just straight into Huck's side, taking 16 damage or whatever. Now, all of these are non-lethal. These are, and you can
Randy,
purposely
what?
spear.
Randy.
He told me to. I thought we were all like trying this out. Like,
Randy. It was 16 damage. What am I
a
taking?
gesture and have
yes.
my light soldiers just dance around.
Yeah, 16 damage. Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. I need to make sure that the infusion doesn't.
Warn you now.
It was 18 because it's plus 2 to
18.
damage as well. Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's fine. 2.
You just clipped the legs out of the poor man, Jess.
I don't think
I
I've ever.
mean, look, it was just the start. I thank you with the shield work. It was great. I don't know.
I also don't think that Randir's ever described his Warhammer. It's just a barrel-looking rock or like metal thing on the top of it. Like just.
It's like if someone put a broom handle into a barrel.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
bare
Yeah,
metal.
except for that it's like it's metal that's like kind of rusted.
Getting real
It's
King
like
DD
Donkey Kong.
vibes. Yeah,
King DD, yeah.
Bonk, bonk.
nice.
Like it.
I mean, you've
Huck, you-
essentially orchestrated a round of Super Smash Brothers here, Ben. So
Yeah.
kind of right.
Yeah, but I feel bad because I'm meant to be dodging, so I can't be like, I cast fireball.
Yeah.
I
As the
dodge.
thought crosses your mind, you do feel like it's your turn to act, Huck.
Oh, great.
Uh-oh.
Right. Let's see if I have anything. No, I'm dodging. The whole point is shield skills. So I will. What can I do to make it more difficult?
Hide behind that rock.
I was just gonna say, just a
Take
regular
cover.
reduce. I'm gonna
Maybe
reduce
we're
myself. I'm
helping.
gonna make myself
nice.
smaller.
Nice.
The Ant-Man defense.
Well, we do have Pim here.
Yeah, so I
Good.
make myself half the size. So I don't know, just harder to hit. I'm hoping.
Yeah. You, as that warhammer makes contact, poof, and air kind of out of Huck. Huck also goes whoop. Rander, you're not sure if Huck is mainly filled with air because it's not too sure after
Whiskey
winding.
Bear is now
him.
eyeing you very suggestively.
Woo! Come at
It's like,
me.
man, that rabbit looked tasty.
Uh-oh.
I remember hunting rabbits in my youth.
This is going to be a whole new dodge Then like after.
Exactly.
Hook, is that kind of your only, like, it's not a real combat, so you can just take the one action and
Yeah. No, that's. Oh no, I'll use message as well to tell Randir that he smells.
he eats spells.
No, he
No,
smells.
smells.
Oh,
I heard
right.
you spells as well.
You eat spells.
Eat spells. No.
Insult. Nice. Pim, you are up.
Excellent. So, I am going to say, just watch this for a minute, and I'm going to run at Randir. Like, I'll back up a bit so I get a bit of space. And I'm going to run so I have 10 feet at least space between me and Randir, and I'm going to slam into Randir using my technique charge. So I'm a charger.
Nice.
So if I move at least 10 feet in a straight line, I immediately, before taking this bonus action, which I would do, I will gain +5 bonus to the attack's damage roll, or I can decide to push the target. And in this case, I'm going to push him. So I'm basically going to attack, but push. So generally, that's a strength contest.
Nice. So both roll
like a
strength.
pool cue, like you're pulling back. Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a
that's
pinball. Yeah.
That's a 24 strength.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Hook's just there being like, yeah, kill him. Get him.
I got 16.
Nice.
16. Nice.
So then
So look,
I
just
would
describe
shove
how
him
this happens,
10
yeah.
feet away.
The ground is wet. It's muddy. It's craggy. It's dirty. You get pushed by this halfling, and Randy, you're a dwarf. It's tough to push a dwarf, and with a little bit of a charge and a little bit of a push, you skid back. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw so you don't kind of trip and mud slap, I suppose.
So as a reaction to that, I'm going to use my half-plate infusion to expend 1 charge to not be knocked. I don't have to.
Nice. So even cooler, you almost begin to fall back, and your armor just explodes with arcane energy, pushing you back up into an upright position. It's a nice little bit of jet action you've got going on there.
But,
I like that.
Yeah,
That's quite sexy.
well, I can have it made for you.
Oh, really?
I know someone. Yeah.
Is there someone you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my half plate. It's my infusion is armor of magical strength.
Nice.
As a reaction, the wearer can expend 1 charge to not be knocked.
Cool.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Once I do
Arlington.
that, then I'm going to use the rest of my 25 movement to move back to Huck and plant myself within 5 feet of him and say, "Come at me, brah!"
A gauntlet thrown, Arlington. It is your turn.
Verily, I shall come at thee. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna run up to. Yeah, I'm gonna run up to Pim and Keelan, and I'm going to. You said the ground is real muddy, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm actually gonna like bend down and like use the layer skull axe as as kind of like a shovel and like scoop mud out and try and sling it at the two of them to try and obscure their vision.
Now, sorry, just
so
to
I'm
say, right, as part of a special, sorry, Wes, part of a special that I have is called Hold the Line. So he actually provokes an attack of opportunity because he moves within a range.
Oh, cool.
So as soon as he moves, then I get an attack of opportunity. Sorry, Wes, just to say.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kill him.
And in normal circumstances, look, I'm going to be straight with you. Nerds on the internet will say that Pim used his reaction this round, and an attack of opportunity is a reaction. But I'm cool. I'm your cool DM. I'm the guy who breaks the rules, and I say it happens. But to give you a chance, you were flicking mud at them.
Mhm.
Were you thinking of not entering his space because you needed that little bit of
Yeah,
range?
I think as a comment, because I'd agree, like if you'd use your action, but this is cool, so I'd say I flick the mud just before coming into melee range, and then I'll step in and then let the reaction happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We'll do mud and then reaction.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I sling the mud, and then I guess I take a hit from Pim.
Well, I think probably they need to make a dexterity saving throw because it seems like an area of effect
Yeah.
spell. It's
Oh,
for
shit,
spell,
sorry.
Arlington.
I keep forgetting to clarify. I'm raging as I'm running towards that, so that's my bonus. Actually, I forgot to clarify that. Yeah, sure. Range attack makes sense.
Yeah. Well, not range attack. I'm gonna think it's a dexterity
range
saving.
dex save,
Yeah, to get out of the way. So both Pim and Huck make a dexterity saving throw. I'm gonna count it as Wes. Your what's your base attack? Do you have any stat there? Like athletics? What's your base?
Make sense. Like my strength is my big stat, and then dex is like decent. But
What's your core strength? Like not modifier, just base number.
my core strength is 17.
Let's say it's a 17. 17 DC. That seems like a good DC. Huck.
I rolled a 1. Oh, I
get to
can
reroll
reroll it. Aha! Oh, that was almost a nightmare. Oh no. The dex save, you say? Then I got 7.
7, nice. You get a slap of mud straight to the face. And Pim?
19.
19. With your shield, you and just go straight over like a cool jeep through a safari. Woo!
My God.
Which
It
means
was an
that you
extension of
are
his elbow.
You just see me
perfectly
like,
primed for that attack of
hairs
opportunity.
flowing, mustache in the wind.
Rander is growing more and more respect for Pim. He was the only person to be able to push him, and that includes Arlington, who tried to stop him in the last fight. So, and now he has a great mustache.
This is the first time the party has met an actual fighter. So we're like, oh, why don't we just have a fight, which is what they're built to do. Cool. Okay. So Pim's going to attack me then.
Attack of opportunity. Yeah, so you can make an attack roll, Pim.
So he needs to beat a 16.
12.
Oh,
Nice.
I unarm strike you, so I just gotta go with the shield. I'm like, ah!
Oh, shield on shield action then.
Your shield is mighty, good sir.
And yours too.
Oh, I like this. This is fun. Tell you.
Then I'm going to use an action surge and try and pirouette around, and then while the shield is busy, try and slash at Huck with my extra attack.
Make an attack roll.
Okay, I'm going to use bend luck then.
Oh.
Which just means that I can give him a plus or a minus of a roll of 1d4.
Okay, that's going to be 20.
-3.
17?
Yeah.
Hang on, I might be able.
Yeah, that works.
As my reaction. No, it's not. It's a ability check or.
However, is bend luck a reaction, Huck, or is it just something?
No, it's a sorcerer ability that I can use as a reaction at the cost of 2 sorcery points.
Nice. Does it? Is that the one where if you do use it, your next spell is
Tides of Chaos?
Tides of Chaos. Right. Yeah.
Which gives advantage on any particular roll I want. Tides of Chaos does.
So that hits, I think, if your AC is only 12.
Sounds like it.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I used the wrong reaction. No, I would have been screwed either way. Yeah. My AC 13. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. No, that hits. How much?
That is going to be I rolled a 7 plus 5 plus rage, so that's 8. So that is 15 slashing damage.
Jesus.
And then I would like to use my second attack because I get 2 attacks per action.
You don't. I should clarify. You don't have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to kill.
Well, I presume he's well, okay. A non-lethal attack. Like I just want to kind of tell you what. Yeah, heft of the axe. Like I just kind of want to prove that I can get past Pim, which I might not with this second attack.
Nice. So you're attacking Pim?
No, I'm attacking Huck again.
Yeah,
right.
Because the game is get Huck.
I thought I liked games.
We're gonna ruin games for him.
It's the worst.
That is an even 20 again.
Jesus. Yeah, well, there's not much I can do about that. I could do it again, but -4 is not going to help. Nope. No, that hits, I guess.
As well, because I can't use my warding maneuver, and I didn't use my second attack. I could I should have held him maybe actually.
You should have killed him.
Killed him.
That's right. That hits.
Now I rolled max damage. I did clarify beforehand that it's non-lethal. Just to be
Sure.
clear. So that's 20 slashing damage with the second.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I am down.
Wow. Right.
Okay, I definitely bopped him on the forehead then.
Yeah, it was first to just 3 tags, but I feel like the concept of tag doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, Arlington's raging, so it's now Grud playing tag, and Grud plays tag a bit rougher.
The game's gone into a whole, or the D&D Beyond's gone into a whole section where I have to roll death saves. So
Here.
Well,
This is the most
I think
successful string of attacks I've ever done, and it's to our own fucking team.
Yeah.
The next time we have an actual fight, I'm going to roll like dog shit.
That makes sense. It was just pressure. It was like you just needed to be in a safe space.
Yeah,
then
you
you
needed to
go.
be surrounded by friends so I could kill them.
Yes.
turns out when you remove all of the attack abilities from a glass cannon, they die pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
yeah, I'm glad we tested this hypothesis with a real test, which is Hook goes down and the mood changes because it suddenly stopped being a fun protect Hook game to a we shouldn't have actually, I feel like we could have just been like bop bop. This didn't have to be so induced with anger. But potentially that's because of the day and a half and the almost 2 days you've had, which has just been you're marching.
I think it's also that Arlington hasn't tussled with anyone in a long time. Since he's been a nice guy. So fighting Pim is the first time he's fought against someone who could take a hit. So you kind of got a little bit carried away.
I succeeded my first death saving throw.
Can I do?
Oh, good.
I have Revivify. Does that help here? Is that a death
You
save?
don't even. That's
No.
even too powerful. You could just heal him and he'll be
I
straight
was
back.
gonna do healing
Or
word.
Can I
Mhm.
tend the wounded them? From
Yeah.
this?
It was non-lethal. He's not dying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
failed the
can
second one.
I can do healing word.
Throws. Okay.
I'm just going to go through it and see.
You should have hid behind the rock.
You did say that earlier.
Yeah. You should have listened
That's
to the
fair.
protect your fighter.
What's your final one? Okay.
I got a
We're
natural 20.
currently on 2 successes, 2 failures, right?
Yeah, but the last success was a natural 20. If that
Oh,
helps.
nice. You're
That
yeah,
works
you're
out
up.
too.
You're
Yeah.
back to 1 HP. Yeah.
1 HP.
Heal by 1. Aha, I'm up. What?
The-
Come at me! You missed.
Ooh.
Is that all you've got?
Oh.
As the mood sort of settles back into knowing Hook's fine, but kind of maybe we went too far in that way of when you're a kid and you're like, did we do something that actually is bad? Have we grown up a little bit? That's the feeling that kind of surrounds the party. But it did lighten the mood, oddly. In a weird way. Hook doesn't seem too bothered about
You
it.
sacrificed
Hook,
you
you're-
sacrificed Hook to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
I am a martyr for
Is it-
my team.
You did well, young Puck. You did well.
I
But the rock is our new friend.
I have a new friend. This is all worth it.
Just remember,
Sometimes it hurts to
whenever
make
we're in a
friends.
fight, find a rock.
That's good advice. I'll learn that now.
Yeah, all our terrains from now on do have rocks to hide behind. This is
Yeah.
the first time where the game has taught you half cover.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, so that's what
and you continue marching on a little bit better, a little bit happier, a little bit clearer, and that to be fair, the rain seems to be easing off too. It's one of those nice moments where the world and your own mood sort of reflected itself and then has come out the other side.
Can I have a rest?
Well, yeah, if that's I was about to say that you make your way to those few sort of solitary stones. There seemed to be this little stone circle, and on closer inspection, as you get there, you realize that there is a stairway down into some ruins. And for lack of anywhere else to take shelter tonight, that could be an option. Now, you don't have to decide now, because that will be your first decision when we come back for episode 51 to head down into these ruins, which I feel get a bad rap. They're just ruins.
It should be episode 50, part 2.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, we're gonna milk this anniversary run for all it's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
I don't know, Ben.
3 years from now, episode 50, part 540.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's 50 part 50, we know we've really.
Yeah.
50 was the ultimate side quest of an
But
episode.
then we'll be able to celebrate our 51st episode. That'll be a big
Well,
milestone.
that's a good milestone.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, the 51st, we finally reached it.
Well,
Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you
yeah.
very much for that.
That was
Yeah,
great.
thanks.
Yeah, well, and if schedule's allowing and all that kind of stuff, feel free to come back in 2 weeks' time to continue this leg of the adventure. More than
Yeah,
welcome.
that'd be great.
Hey.
And I want to say for the podcast listeners that they should watch this video episode because I feel like there was some excellent missed shielding, etc. going on.
A lot of acting.
Acting.
Yes.
Visual acting.
Yes, the visual.
Well, we will be back in 2 weeks' time, but before we go, a couple of things to that is official. We're back. We're out of Hibernia. We've gone into the save menu. We've saved our game. We're back. We're back in the living room. But a couple of quick announcements. Luke, is there anything do you want to tell the people about? I mean, there's also next episode to tell people if there's more stuff, but.
Well, I think one thing some people may or may not know. We're going to Spiel this year. We're going to the largest tabletop gaming convention in the world. In 2019, there were 209,000 people that went through Spiel in the course of 4 days. So we are extremely stoked about this. So far, the end result, we've got the booth plans out, and unless they change it again on us, we are going to be across from Wormwood.
Oh,
We're going to be across from Wormwood, and our booth is going to whoop their ass.
Yeah. I mean, they're just a tinderbox waiting to go up.
They're going to be like, what the actual hell have these guys done? I cannot wait to show you guys what this booth is going to look like. So, obviously, I know, probably most of the listeners and watchers will be from Ireland or Europe, whatever. So Spiel's in Essen, Germany, and basically what they're saying at the moment is if you're vaccinated and you have the EU vaccination cert, you're good to go. There'll be masks and normal kind of COVID-y type stuff for it. But if you're there, it's gonna be great fun. I mean, besides us being there, there's gonna be, as we said, Wormwood, but also there's gonna be loads of other just small game developers, and it's the first time Spiel's been back since 2019, and it's our very first con in 2 years. 2 years.
Nice.
So
Mecca, Keelan, you look so excited there.
Yeah, Keelan lit up when you talked about it.
The Spiel and Dar, I've always wanted to go.
yeah. So Spiel is where publishers announce their new games, right? They have their publishing award, their game awards and stuff like that as well. So Spiel is a big thing. So we're super excited about it, and we're excited to go back to that. So that's a big announcement. And then the other big announcement is that obviously we've been doing things. I keep bringing out new dice and new things like that. We are going to, but as we kind of come into that new kind of towards the end of the year. It's more about trying to make sure we have the stock there for the end of the year for everybody. So, we should have restocks and kind of hopefully wooden dice and things like that, back in the store again for kind of coming into the fall season. So, if you've been waiting around if anybody's been waiting around for a wooden set or gemstone set or something like that, they're probably going to start showing up in the shop now. So get them while the getting is good. We'll probably do one more run before the end of the year, but yeah, it's crazy times. So there's my announcements for the Dakota Irish side anyway. And besides being brilliant,
very cool,
absolute blast.
No, we can't wait. We just need to make sure that Pim is safely somewhere before Spiel comes around, because that's my aim as a DM. But as you were saying, that they'll be back kind of over the fall, so a really easy way to get your Christmas kind of or holiday gifts or whatever, just kind of crossed over. But great, I got that sorted in a really nice way. And
Dragon Skills are gonna be back. The red and the whites and the chromatics and the blacks. They went like hotcakes, man. I don't know if you guys saw the Dragon Scales, but holy crap, they sold like mad. So, I wasn't prepared for that. I hoped, but I wasn't prepared. But they will be back.
Paul, what are we hearing out on Thursday?
Oh, on Hear Us Out, we're going to be doing, since lockdown is now kind of finishing in a lot of places and cinemas have opened up, we're talking about our cinema experience, kind of COVID style, what it also means for the movie industry in the sense that, like, you know, it was a quarter of what was being made in cinemas previous to COVID. What's going to happen now is records going to be broken as people go back to the cinemas. And yeah, and then some movies that we watched, which was just recently as well.
Lovely. Really nice. I think that prediction is pretty spot on. That cinema records might get, based on the No Way Home trailer, absolutely being people thirsting for that.
Yeah,
that's a good trend.
I predict that, like, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna break like the top, like, space kind of thing, but it's definitely gonna. I think it's gonna make it on the top 10 just because people are thirsty to go back to cinemas. I think the block land. Like, yeah, a lot of people were saying that Tenet made 358 million, and they were like, "Oh, that's not great," but it actually turns out that that's the COVID, like, best. So, you know, it's going to be interesting, kind of records broken.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff to keep coming down the pipeline. Anyway, we will be back in 2 weeks' time for Homebrew episode 51. Until then, do look after yourselves. This episode was tough in some places with certain contact topics. We'll make sure that we put all those tags and stuff. If you're hearing about this now, you would have heard about it before you listened or watched, unless it was live. But do look after yourselves. Good night, and joy be with you all. Bye. See you in 2 weeks.